What's up, guys? Welcome to the KoS podcast episode number 2. First episode, we had only Snookmaster. Today, I was supposed to have another guest. Quite a special guest. That person actually has almost double the amount of subscribers I have on YouTube. But unfortunately, they weren't that well to do the podcast. So I am filling in the podcast myself. It might be there like this some weeks. So this podcast is episode number 2. I think it's a good opportunity to talk about what the podcast will be about. And we'll talk a little bit more about fishing. But in general, it'll be a lot more than that. So like I said, the guest wasn't able to make it today. Hopefully they'll be here next week. And in that instance, today's episode is sponsored by none other than the KoS jigs. You don't know about the KoS jig by now, something is wrong. But this episode is sponsored by the KoS jig. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the episode goes on. And a little bit more about the KoS jigs. We have a few on the side here, but that's it. The sponsors for this week's episode. Because I am KoS, the KoS jigs are there. So I have a couple topics to touch on. I also have a couple questions from Instagram, Facebook. We'll get into that as we go along. Just the topics I have in front of me right now. First one is the plans for the podcast. Well, the channel is KoS Fishing. So obviously some parts of the podcast will be about fishing. From time to time, we'll have like sit down like this and have a talking fishing episode. We'll invite some guests who are involved in fishing. Some of the other fellas. Master was here. You come back. We got LD. We got Technical Master. We got JLo. Hoping to have ZZ here as well. Got a couple of fishing YouTubers as well. Hopefully get them on here as well. Have quite a few of them out there now. So I'll reach out to them. If you have any suggestions or you think I should have on the podcast, could be fishing, could be other topic related. Anybody from social media, comment below. We'll try to get them on the podcast. It'll be a sit down and talk, question and answer. Get to know the person a bit more. So I think it'll be quite interesting because I've not seen anything like that on the local social media networks. So I think it'll be good to know more about the people who are involved in the videos that are behind the scenes. So that's part of the plans for the podcast for sure. Invite other people on social media to sit down and have a chat. Could be about anything. And we'll go try fishing something in there, some part of it. Even though they might be 100% versed in the fishing area. So that's it. For the plans for the podcast. We're hoping to post once a week. We'll see how that goes because time, record, edit could be a challenge, but we're hoping every Tuesday. If not every Tuesday, it'll be every other Tuesday. That's it. I'm either 2 videos for the month or 4 videos for the month. Definitely try to keep up with that. This is the second one, and hopefully next will be next week, Tuesday, once my guest is available. Moving forward from that, the next topic I wanted to talk about on the podcast today. We're on social media, we're on YouTube. A lot of people on social media now. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and now the major one, TikTok. Now, I know a lot of people might be thinking, can you get paid from being on social media? Well, that's a kind of a loaded question. You can, but you can't. There are ways to do it. Some media platforms don't pay directly, but you could earn other ways through the platforms. For example, the only social media platform that pays you directly in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, if you're living in the US, Canada, Australia, England, you can get paid from almost all the networks. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. But in Trinidad and Tobago, right now, the only platform paying you directly is YouTube, and it's a kind of roundabout way. TikTok doesn't pay you directly as far as I know. I mean, I am on TikTok as well, and I have been invited to the creator program to join, but based on the location of Trinidad and Tobago, I have not been able to join. Maybe there are other ways, but as of now, the only social media platform that pays directly is YouTube. How it pays you? The other thing is it pays you through views, and views from Trinidad and Tobago and other Caribbean countries do not count towards that payment. It used to prior to 2021, I believe, but since then it has not counted for your revenue. So normally, for every 1,000 views you get, pre-2021, and like for example my genre fishing, I probably got maybe $2 per 1,000 views, 250 sometimes, depends on how or where the people are watching from. Now it has dropped significantly, but I don't post as much, so now it might be $1.50 US, $1.50 US, $1.40 US per 1,000 views. It's like the range it is now. So you can imagine if you get 100,000 view video, which is not a lot. Is 100 by $1.50. That's 150 US for that video. Now that's nothing significant in the whole scheme of things. So it can't really be a social media personality through that alone as a full-time job. So there has to be a reason you want to do social media. Now there are other ways to get paid. You could do ads for local companies. People could sponsorship videos. You could do merch. You could do products. So you could use your platform for other ways to make revenue. But you have to figure out how you want to do that, because it's not the easiest thing out there. Jigs are one of the ways through, again, that's a whole different aspect of it, because I'll talk about that a little later again. But there are different ways you could try to generate revenue from your social media presence. And again, different people, for example, on TikTok. Most of the people on TikTok now, they generate revenue through doing ads, or people sponsor their videos. You might even necessarily know it's a sponsored video, but it's a sponsored video. They'll be promoting some food place, some hotel, some business, some food, some product, and it's actually a paid ad. Now, TikTok, you don't have to say it's a paid ad as of now, so you might necessarily know it. And the good social media influencers or personalities, they know how to incorporate the product of the business place into their videos without making it look like an ad. Again, that's their business, that's what they do. My only thing with that is some people choose to advertise products and places that have no relation to what they normally do on TikTok or on social media in general. So it doesn't fit that well. So that's kind of weird for me, but it happens. And again, everybody trying to make their money out there. For me, I don't fall into that category at all. If I'm going to advertise something, it has to be something that I use, something that I believe in. But on my own products, it has to be something like that for me, because I'm not just going to do an ad for some random product or random business place. That's not for me. I mean, again, other people might do it, and that's just their prerogative. So YouTube still pays per view, but it's very small. Different genres or categories would pay more. Maybe food will pay a little bit more. Vlogging might pay a little bit more. Fishing might be one of the lowest categories of payment, because not a lot of people fish or enjoy fishing as much as they enjoy other things. So, like I say, for example, for every 1,000 views, might be $1, $1.50, somewhere in that range. And the views have to come from countries that are eligible: the US, Australia, the UK. The only Caribbean country that the views come from, I think, is Jamaica. Trinidad views do not count towards your revenue. Sad, but true. So why do social media? Why make the videos? Why produce half an hour long YouTube videos when you're not really getting paid from the views from Trinidad, which is your most views because you're from Trinidad? Well, for me, doing YouTube videos has many benefits. You can say one, you get whatever revenue you get from it. But the next thing is, when you record your fishing adventures, for me, I never go to make a video. I fish and make a video while fishing, because I love to fish. I just have on the camera and I'll record the action. The great thing about that is, afterwards, you can always go back and watch the video. Like for me, sometimes I sit down and watch old videos with you and see the fishes we catch. Some of the things I've recorded, it's absolutely amazing. Like if I wasn't recording that or wasn't making YouTube videos, I'd never get back to see that action again or see those catches again. And sometimes I just sit down and watch old videos and say, wait, that was real good. And just remember the day, how it was. I mean, it's something that's a huge benefit from making the videos and posting it up. And the other thing that happens is, other people who may not get to experience those types of fishing or those types of adventures, they get to see it through your eyes. And they get to watch the videos and experience it firsthand, because the GoPro is a first-hand experience. So a lot of people might get to do it and they'll get to see it being done firsthand. And through that, maybe they might get the encouragement or the idea of going to try it, which also has another aspect of watching and posting YouTube videos. So for sure, one of the benefits is I get to record the action and I get to watch it back over. The other thing is, people get to see the action, they get to experience it. Maybe they might get the chance to do it themselves, or maybe it might encourage them to do it themselves. And that video is always there to watch. The other thing I like to post the videos for is, I like to encourage people into the sport or hobby of fishing. These days, technology is taking over. The youths of today, the young people of today, always stuck to their phones, stuck to their tablets. They're not going outside like they used to be. I mean, long time when I was a young, not that young anymore, but when I was a young guy, young fella, I used to always be outside playing cricket, football, marble pitch, and of course, fishing. And when I could post the videos, fishing videos, and encourage more young people into it, I think there's a huge benefit to get them away from the screens and back into the outdoors. Fishing is one of the best hobbies you can get into. Anybody could do it. Young, old, male, female, once you have some time, go and spend it on the water. You don't have to catch fish all the time. That's not the whole real reason for doing it. Getting out there into the outdoors, experiencing the outdoors, catching a fish, I always say, is a bonus. So just getting out there is one of the best things you can do for yourself, your kids, your family, anybody around. Get out in the outdoors. You don't like the fishing, just go out there, go to the beach, anything. But I mean, fishing is one of those things that can keep you doing it, going on more and more. And like I said, in general, it's one of the easiest hobbies you can get into. No major super skills required, no major expenses until you start to get more and more into it. Then you're going to buy a more expensive reel, rod. But you don't have to get that at the start. You can start with the bare minimum and just get yourself more and more into the hobby, into the sport. And trust me, it will be beneficial to you and anybody else involved. Fishing is the best hobby out there, my opinion. Right, so that's just how run now and making money from social media. It is possible, and some people might make a decent amount, but in general, making money directly from the platforms is not a sustainable, viable way to have a career. So for example, for me, I'm what you call a weekend warrior. So when I have spare time or time on the weekend is when I go to fish and try to get a video done. So it's not the easiest thing to post consistently over and over. Maybe if I was younger, just finished school over and had some extra time, I could be more fully involved and making more, more edit-worthy videos and spend more time doing those things. But again, for me, I go fishing, make a video of it. I don't go fishing to make a video. And that's how it will always be for me. I love to fish. Making videos is just a bonus. Now, going forward, I want to talk a bit more about the changes in fishing since maybe last 5-10 years. Fishing has changed a lot. What I mean by that is, just like every other thing in the world, has become more technologically driven or technique driven, or even I could say even more competitive, because everything now in this world, this life we live, is competitive. Somebody always trying to do one up on another, be better than the next person, catch a bigger fish than the next person, catch more fish. None of them things important to me. If I go in the drain and catch a KoS crab, if I go on a boat and catch a catfish, I catch a kingfish, a mahi, a redfish, snook tap on. Once I catch a fish, I'm real happy. Of course, I like to do some types of fishing more than others. In short, artificial is my number one by far for sure. Going on a beach, casting laws as my number one. If I catch zero fish, how I do that, I still love it more than other types of fishing. Other people might be different, but at the end of the day, other people have different views on fishing. Some people now fish just for fishing to make money. That's not something I would ever do, but again, that's what some people do. Some people go fishing only just to catch fish. The idea for them is just to catch a fish and to show off the fish that they catch. Again, that's not for me. For me, it's the whole experience of going out there, challenging yourself, catching the fish. Again, is the bonus. And that's where the new thing has come in with, I think, electronic reels and electric reel fishing. It's something totally that wasn't I didn't know about it at least 5 years ago. Now, I think almost everybody had to work their way up to start this electric reel fishing. I mean, there are some instances where I think it'll be okay. Like maybe fishing 500 feet plus, a heavy current. If you're a little bit older, maybe if you have an injury, maybe for the ladies out there, it'll be a little easier for them. But I think for a fit young fella, of average build and average strength, the electric reel shouldn't be for you. Fight your fish with your hand. Catch your fish, stick your fish, fight it with your hand or with your rod and reel. That is what actually fishing is. If you just want to go and press a button, I think better you can just stay home and play video, go and press a button to catch a fish. That's just my opinion on electric reel fishing. For some people who are able to fish normally with hand line or rod and reel. And I think in that aspect as well, it kind of gives a unfair advantage to some of the fishermen out there against the fish. I mean, when you have an electric reel, you throw drop after drop, press button, reel up, and you can just catch fish after fish after fish with little or no effort once the fish bite in. But if you had to pull the fish physically and put your strength and fight that fish one-on-one, you will get tired after some time and you'll give the fish a chance to rest and you wouldn't catch as much fish. So again, maybe if you're fishing commercially, it's something you could probably do again. But for a recreational fisherman, I find the electric reel thing kind of a little bit off-putting for me. I mean, again, if you have an injury or you're not 100% fit or you're something, you have something that might keep you back from fishing in general, then it might be something for you. But for example, the guys who I used to go fish with, Mr. Keith and Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor is almost 80 years old. and that man still pulling that hand line from 300 to 500 feet, one after the next, pulling shark, redfish, anything. Mr. Kitu, he's late 60s and the man still pulling that fish like normal. That is the kind of thing I hope to do at that age. I mean, them fellas still going strong with the hand line. Might use a rod and reel and thing, but again, fighting the fish is what fishing is all about for me. And I think the electric reel thing is kind of out of hand at times. I mean, there's like I said, there are times you could use it and there are applications for it. But I think in general, if you go paddles fishing 150 feet or 200 feet, you really need an electric reel to pull salmon and crow. I mean, I find that is a little bit overdoing it. But again, to each their own. But fishing has continued to change, and the fish getting more and more at a disadvantage to the fish, I said, because the fisherman getting more advances in technology, the fish ain't getting that. So we'll see how it goes in a couple of years' time, how the fishing is if it continues on that trend. And going forward again, try to just keep the video flowing. Talking about that, we're going to talk about some fishing charters. But before we get into the fishing charters, we just pop in with the sponsor for today's video again is the KoS jigs. We have 3 colors, as you would know by now: black back, redhead, the white silver. KoS jigs only come in the KoS jig packaging. These jigs are the best whatever I have been using for the last couple of years. I don't mean to be biased, but they catch everything, literally. Fish that I've never caught on artificial before. Lane snappers, mutton snappers, salmon, beaching, kingfish. So many fish I catch for the first time on artificial using the KoS jigs. And they are a unique jig design. Yes, now, unfortunately, there are other jigs on the market that have since come up, since I started to introduce the KoS jigs on the market. And it's unfortunate that we live in Trinidad, that's how it is. Some people have brought almost the same, I'll show you the difference, the same type of jig, it's different, and they're marketing it something as the KoS jig. A couple of people actually reached out and said they bought the KoS jig, but it wasn't any KoS packaging. Now, when I heard that, it was kind of off-putting, like, what do you mean? All the KoS jigs come in the KoS packaging. You see the KoS on top there? That is the KoS jigs. The KoS packaging, and a huge thanks to everybody who has bought it. But a couple people reached out and said they bought one wasn't the KoS packaging, and I say, okay, that's a bit odd because all the KoS jigs come in the KoS packaging. So I asked them to if they could probably send me a picture or even give me one to see what it looked like, and they did. And I just want to point out to you guys that I got a couple from them. This is not KoS jigs. They are micro jigs, but they are not KoS jigs. Now the funny thing with it is it looks very similar to a KoS jig. Same redhead design, but the shape is different. I'll do a close-up of it if I could show you. But this one here is the KoS jig. Catch some fish with this already. Check it out here, and this is not the KoS jig. Looks very similar, right? But if you look up close, take a look at the KoS jig. See the shape here? Very distinct shape. It has a cut here. You see the cut right here. This gives it its unique action. This one is just a straight line, no cut there, right? And it looks very similar. You go out there and somebody tell you it's the KoS jig, you could get mistaken. Also look at the eye. Look at the eye of the KoS jig. See how big that eye is, and there's a white line around it. You can see a more distinctive eye. This one does not have that. It's like a black eye, a smaller eye. Totally different again. So it could look similar to the KoS jig, but it is not. And I said, unfortunately, people in Trinidad, they do this as soon as you have a successful product, try to copy it. Just want to highlight that in this video. This is not the KoS jig. Make sure you know that. These are the KoS jigs, all in the KoS packaging. And again, huge thanks to everybody who has bought the jigs. They do work, and I could put more money on it to say that the jigs definitely do work. They catch all kinds of fish, all species of fish in all different kind of terrains and environments. They work. And again, huge thanks to everyone who has bought it. Thanks. Well, I can't sponsor the video because next guest will come on. So all the tackle shops will be restocked. Whoever been missing for KoS jigs from this weekend coming. So check them out. All the places that carry any KoS jigs. Start from Two Wheel Ride Bike Shop in Debe. They have the KoS jigs, all sizes and colors. We have Sealife Marine, Edward Lee Street, San Fernando. All sizes, colors, and pliers as well. Fishin tackle and accessories in Munroe Roundabout. It has all the sizes and colors. We have the Real Deal Outlaws in Lomas. Alan, he has all the sizes and colors plus the KoS pliers. Lots of gears to check him out. We have, after that, we have XM Tackle Shop in Couva. All sizes and colors. Check him out. He's on Couva Main Road. And then going into the east side, we have Show Tanks, Fishy Bizniz. They have all sizes and colors. We have the Fishin Body Tackle Shop in Bregon Park, Debe. Check him out. He has all sizes and colors. We have Real Talk, which is by Aphzal, Mohammed Hardware and Sawa. They have all the sizes and colors plus the KoS pliers as well. We have FM Business Solutions on Munroe in Low Cost Plaza. They have all the sizes and colors. Check them out as well. I don't think I miss out anybody else there. If I do, I'll put the full list of all the places I carry KoS jigs in the comments, in the description below. And again, appreciate your support. Trying to get another place on the west side. So maybe I'll update the list as soon as I get on somebody else on that side. I don't think I miss out any. If I did miss out anybody, again, I'll include the name below. But again, get your KoS jigs. They work and they catch a lot of fish. Alright, now we're going to talk about fishing charters in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, what I want to talk about this is something I want to talk about for a long time because I think it's something that has not had much discussion, and there are a lot of people now doing fishing charters in Trinidad and Tobago. And the prices from what it was maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it has risen significantly. So there are a couple of things that should happen, or I believe should happen, since this has been the case. Fishing charters in general, I've been on a couple of fishing charters out of Trinidad, and it's a different experience or a different thing than doing a fishing charter in Trinidad and Tobago. For example, fishing charters that I've done, maybe drift fishing in Florida, you get everything provided for you. Lines, reels, hooks, bait, everything. The captain or the mates on the boat also come on. If you want to bait up your hook for you, there's bait up for you. If you want to take out the fish for you, there's take out the fish for you. If you have a tangle in a line, they'll come and fix it for you. If your line had a rig over, they'll come and rig it over for you. For me, I think that's a bit extreme, but that's why fishing charters in general, in anywhere else you go. There's drift fishing. If you go like on a specific charter to target a different species, again, the captain will have all the gears, all the baits, everything provided. He will do everything in his power to put you on and to catch that fish. Rig the lines, bait the hooks, throw the line, even set the hook for you on the fish, fight a little bit and let you fight it if you want. All different things he'll do out of his way to make sure you have the best fishing experience, have the best chance of catching that fish. In Trinidad, the charters are a little bit different. In general, you just pay for the boat or pay for the charter, and the captain will carry you somewhere to fish. You normally, some of them, again, we'll have a discussion after this, they expect you to walk with your own gear, get your own bait, rig up your own line, take out your own fish, everything, etc. Oh, even when you go away, there's clean your fish for everything after the charter. That doesn't happen here in Trinidad, at least as far as I know. What has happened over the last couple of years, the price of charters have gone up. And I think if the price of charters has gone up, it has different reasons. One, I know for sure it's gas prices has gone up, and that increased the cost for the fishermen to carry out. A lot of factors would have encouraged an increase in the price of charters. But I think now we need to have not discussion, but we need to have a set range of services that the captain should offer to you if you have a different charter. And these all the things should be discussed beforehand. There are some charters now that I would have seen or read about or heard about where people paid for a charter, they catch the fish, the captain catch the fish, and then the captain take a share of the fish. And they were quite upset when the captain takes some part of the catch. Now, in my opinion, if you book a boat for a fishing charter, all fish caught on that charter should be yours as the customer. Now, in the instance that it's not, the captain should tell you upfront. For example, if you're going mahi fishing, I think you can have a discussion before, and the captain could say, you know, if you catch X amount of fish, I'll take this portion of it. But that should be said upfront, and that should be included, or how the price should be determined for the charter. But normally, if you book a charter and you're paying your money for a charter, all the fish caught on that charter should be yours as the customer or the fisherman booking the charter. The captain should have no part of that catch, unless again at the end of the day you want to ask him if he wants something and give him something. If the captain wants part of that catch beforehand, before the charter before you go on the charter, he should discuss that with the customer and say, listen, if you catch X amount of fish, I'm going to be taking XYZ. Are you okay with that? And everybody should be on the same page for that charter. That is one main thing that I saw being having a problem a couple of times on the fishing groups on Facebook, where they went to that particular captain, they catch us that fish, when they come back, the captain take 30% or 40% of the fish, and people were quite upset. Now again, if it was discussed before and the captain said that up front, nobody should be upset. But if it's something that was not discussed before and you expect to get all the fish, and that happened, I could understand why you'll be very upset. And like I said, the prices for fishing charters have gone up quite significantly. I can remember maybe about maybe more than 5 years ago, to go and fish down the islands, the standard rate was about $1,000 for the charter. $1,000 to go and fish second bookers, first bookers, and you know what, that was the standard price. I think nowadays it starts at $1,500. You might have a couple of captains who do it for $1,200, but now the starting rate is like $1,500 to do somewhere close. You gotta go out further into the north, or if you gotta do the book or something, it's go up to $1,700, $1,800. So the prices have gone up for sure. And I think even if you have to go like far offshore by the rig and thing now, it's quite expensive. And I think now price range like $4,500 to $5,000 for that charter. When we now started by the rig, which was again 7 years ago, I think was the first trip we made, the price was around $2,500. That price is $4,500, $5,000 now, so it has gone up significantly. And the catches, how it used to be, not as good. I mean, you still have the days where you're going to have a fantastic day out there, and I still believe if you never fish by the rig, you need to do it at least once in your life. If you never did mahi fishing, you need to do it at least once in your life. But don't go with the expectations it's going to be fantastic and you're going to definitely go and catch fish. It has changed, the price has gone up significantly, so you just set your mind, okay, you're paying for this, hoping to get this experience, but it's not guaranteed. And that could be another disappointment. If you pay so much money, you go there and it's a tough day of fishing, I know that could be disappointing. But that's just fishing, it could be like that. Not every time you go out, you're going to catch fish. Not every captain go and put your fish onto the fish all the time, but they will definitely try. Some of them try more than others. That's the next thing. Sometimes you go on a charter, you pay money, the captain will go in a spot and sit down, and you ain't catching no fish. Hours go past, the man will go and sleep, he ain't gonna move, nothing biting, and he didn't want to move. You might have to ask him to move. No, I don't think that's a good thing. If I have a captain like that, that's not a good captain. Other captains, you go, you're stopping a spot, you know you're struggling and catching no fish, primary pulling too hard, they'll pick up and move and go and try next spot. That is how it should be. And maybe, this rig when I'm working, so I might suggest try this different one. Or maybe for example, for LRV fishing, you need wire leaders and certain types of lines. Not everybody will have those. So I think captains who are doing those charters, they should have ready-made leaders on board for you. That should be part of the package. You're gonna include an extra $100 or something for that. Plus the live bait, will that be included in the price? You should have wire leads for you. And also have some casters that you could use in case you don't have the gear to use it. Like for example, if you go by the rig, well I know definitely Captain Dillon, you don't have to carry any gears. He will have the casters, the rods, the lines, everything you have ready for you, because that's not gears you expect to have all the time. That's size a caster and line and thing. So you have to know who you're going with. I think the same should be for LRV fishing. If somebody knows LRV charters, they should have lines for you because you need a certain kind of line. They should have wire leads for you. And even those that are doing banking charters, they should have a couple of casters on board to give people who might not have the gears. All that should be included and should be discussed up front with the captain. Not all captains are the same, not all charters are the same, but you should demand a certain level of service for the money that you're paying. Ask questions, ask the persons you choose. There are so many new people doing charters now, you need to find out what exactly you get when you're paying money for it. But again, it's your money paying and not that cheap anymore. Because of this fishing charters thing, I just want to say the charters that I've been on, most of them have been pretty good, and I have a few people I can recommend for you to go charters on. These people who have been going with it in recent past, and they're all good charter captains. For sure, Real Nuts with Captain Ramiz, he's a good one. He does real try. He good for like close to shore, near shore fishing, not too deep. You have some deeper spots too, but I don't like to bank too deep waters. So you have some spots close to the islands, that's a good one to go with. Matthew from Sips and Scales, that man is real try. If you're going to a spot and fishing biting, you go try on the front spot, you go try the front method. So Sips and Skills is our next good charter. Rambo's fishing charters. He's another good guy. I mean, if you could keep on trying until you catch fish. So I mean, Rambo's fishing is the next one to check out. Somebody I went with a couple of times as well, Luna Rosa. He's more of a comfortable boat, a bigger boat. If you're not that good with pirogues, it's a good comfortable boat. His captain is his try hard. So a next comfortable person to go with him is no alcohol on board, which is something also I appreciate as well. And of course, Captain Dylan, Ocean Explorer Charters. He is the best if you go with the rig. I mean, he's the man you should go with. That man is a boss. The man does fish from start to end. He just keep on trying. He will help with everything I gotta get help with. So Captain Dylan of Ocean Explorers, Captain Dylan, the best charter to go by the rig. Don't miss out to anybody else. If you're carrying somebody fishing for the first time, who not accustomed to waters and thing, hit rough waters and thing, the best one to go on is Kalpoo's fishing charters in the Gulf, in the shallows. Now the charter has become a bit expensive now, but again, besides that, the boat and the experience for the first timers is a good one. So that is one if you like you never fished anything before. The fish not gonna be big, but then we'll have a good time catching fish, like especially for kids or for women, is a good one to go on. So in general, before you book your charter, while booking your charter, ask what you're getting from the charter, find out the services, the equipment provided, what it involves, find out everything before you actually go and you become disappointed. And at the end of the day, fishing is fishing. It's not catching. You can have a fantastic day out there, catch real fish, or you could go and catch no fish, a rough day out there. The water could be calm, the water could be rough, the weather could be hot, it could be raining. These are all things when you go out there you can't really control. So have that in your mindset when you're going on a fishing charter. And be mindful of always to be safe when you go out there, because you're out in the water, and follow all safety precautions. Life jacket, life vest, have your plasters, have everything that you might need, medications, you never know what could happen. Right, and just to close it off, last I'll have a couple of questions to answer from social media, but the last thing I'll talk about is fishing in Trinidad in general versus the rest of the world. Now, fishing in Trinidad is pretty good, I would say. We have different types of fish we could catch that without much effort or going too far offshore. But I know for sure 20-25 years ago it was a lot better than it is now. And in 10 to 15 years from now, it's going to be a lot worse than it is now if things don't change. And what I could say, like 25 years ago, if you hear stories from the older fishermen, they would tell you about fishing down the islands, catching kind of fish to get salmon, kingfish, carrot, redfish, just off down the islands. In Scotland Bay, for example, they say that they catch carrot and kingfish. Right off the islands, they're catching the smallest salmon they catch was 15-20 pounds. Redfish, you have to go no 25 miles in the north to catch redfish. You're going right in the Grande and pulling a cooler redfish. Those things have changed. And what has happened now, so many things that contribute to that change is, fishing is harder now. Number one is overfishing. Now, overfishing could come from many different ways, but for me, I think the most destructive one is net fishing, especially trawling, which you can see happening regularly in Trinidad bigger waters. Those big trawlers mashing up the seabed, catching and killing everything. I've been up close to a couple of them in shallows of the Gulf, and you can see the bycatch. Snook, redfish, croaker, salmon, all this size, all of them is dead in the boat, bycatch trying to catch shrimp. It's a sad thing to see. And then men setting fillet in the mangroves, catching snook by the dozens. Like this size, that size, no monsters, because they ain't get a chance to become the monsters. Imagine if every night them men catching 150, 200 snook that size from the mangroves. If them fish get a chance to grow, we'd have one of the best snook fisheries in the world. We do have one of the best tarpon fisheries because we have so many tarpon. Almost all the rivers, brackish rivers, all coastline of Trinidad Tobago catch tarpon. And we have probably the third best tarpon fishery in the world as it stands now. But still, even that is under threat at times because men still catching tarpon or granticai for food, although the food value is very low. People still doing it. Again, if you have to do it for your livelihood, I can't blame you if that is what you're doing to make money to provide for yourself and your family. Do your thing, but there's a much better benefit if these fish are left to thrive and we can have a sport fishing for tarpon because it's a very big money earner. I know you might be thinking that, but I can't carry nobody on charters to earn that money. But the thing is, if those people come to Trinidad, they'll have a lot of ripple effects of them spending their US dollars in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's just think about it. They come with their money of influx. They had to go in the grocery had to buy goods from somebody, had to come and stay somewhere, they had to come and rent somewhere, then people started to eat food from somewhere. The man had some farmer to make that food, grow them products. Somebody had to grow the chicken, the beef, whatever it is. So it's a whole ripple effect of having tourism or tourists come to your country. And the tap on fishing is fantastic. People come from all over the world to fish Trinidad and Tobago tap on. And like I said, we have so many other opportunities we could take care of it. The snook fishing would have been amazing, but I'm getting killed out left, right, and center. The net fishing, the carrot and kingfish, soaking them nets, the trawlers, all these things contribute to overfishing, which is putting a dent in the fishing species, some of them more than others. Like even the bait catching we do in Trinidad and Tobago. Sometimes people catch so much bait. Sometimes the charters, when you go on a charter, they have well full of bait, and half that bait is just end up dying, being wasted, because sometimes we just don't understand how important having this fish out there is. So it's also something to take into consideration. Line fishing is very difficult to actually contribute to overfishing. It could, if people have a particular spot and 25 people fishing every day, could have a detrimental effect, but line fishing overall I don't think will have too much of a significant threat on the fish population. One thing I'll touch on again is spearfishing as well. Now they say spearfishing is supposed to be the most sustainable fishing in the world. I think that's possible, or that is true to everywhere besides Trinidad and Tobago. The thing is, we have no regulations, no size limits, no species limits. So spearfishermen now could target anything. And it's unfortunate that many of them, not all of them, they'd have those who have their head on and they have the conservation in mind, but many spearfishermen, more and more people get into spearfishing, they target the biggest fish, the breeders, the biggest grouper, the biggest barracuda, the biggest snook. They go in places that fishermen with line can't catch them and target the biggest fish. Now if you kill out the biggest fish, which are the ones who reproduce and maintain the population, that's a big problem. I think spearfishermen and women out there need to take that into consideration. Sometimes not always going for the biggest fish is the best one, or have an idea of what are the mature fish or what are the fish that contribute to the repopulation of these species, and try to leave them alone while spearfishing. It's a hard thing to do. You see a big grouper, you want to shoot it, and you catch a big fish, everybody be wow, you catch a big fish, but at the same time it might be the best fish to shoot in terms of conservation. That's something to think about. And again, we can have a lot of fishing opportunities again, but again, the other problem is pollution. Not just bottles, bags, plastic, tire, fridge, stove, all kind of things you see floating along the river. Everywhere you go in Trinidad and Tobago, you're going to find a plastic bottle. But in the most remote island along the islands, or in the most remote piece of mangrove in the mangrove swamp, you will see a set of plastic bottle and Styrotex cup in those mangroves or on that beach. It's a sad thing. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop littering. Try to limit your use on plastic bottles and Styrotex. Put them in a garbage bag when you finish. That is an important thing. Those things just damage the environment all how. And while that is one physical pollution you can see, there are also the not so physical ones that you can see, like example, runoff from factories, runoff from agriculture, the pollution through the factories that make all the things that we make in Trinidad and Tobago, and that goes into the water systems. Like for example, the Caroni River, sometimes you go there and the things smelling absolutely terrible. That's a runoff from the factories and agriculture. That's not good for the fish, not good for the environment. All those things, we have no kind of regulations in Trinidad. So if the pollution was also kept to a minimum, again, our fishery would be a lot better. If that ever happen, I don't know. Hopefully it does. Because a clear example is if you go fishing in Tobago. Tobago don't have much pollution. And if you fish from shore in Tobago or near shore in Tobago, it's 10 times better than Trinidad and Tobago. Than Trinidad. Fishing from shore in Tobago is 10 times better than fishing from shore in Trinidad. Anywhere you go in Tobago and you throw a line, you can catch a real nice fish from shore. Not so for Trinidad. You might have to go on the north coast off some rock and risk your life, and then you catch a good fish. But Tobago, you go behind your hotel, wherever hotel is staying, wherever beach you're on, throw a line, you have a chance of catching big tarpon, big snook, cavali, permit, even bonefish. If you go offshore Tobago, we'll have wahoo, kingfish like that, mahi, not too far offshore. Trinidad, you had to go like 14, 15 miles offshore to get mahi and thing in the cleaner water. So it's something to think about the pollution. So overfishing and pollution, two things that could be destroying our fishing environment in Trinidad and Tobago. And we have it good so far. It's okay. You still catch a lot of fish, but it could be better. So it's something to think about, and I hope things can be done in the future to try and fix that. Right. So just to close off the video, a couple of questions from Facebook. I think I have it up on my computer right now. All right. So one question is from Facebook from Cindy Ali. Do you or will you be given fishing tours or teaching youths how to fish on these tours? And that's something I've always wanted to do. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it, because it's not the easiest thing to coordinate. I mean, in terms of time-wise, who going to do it, safety-wise. Definitely something I want to do, because I want to encourage youths to fish and fish more often. So if I could teach them, for sure, I'd love to do that. So that is something in the works. We'll work on that for sure, Cindy. Find out how we could do like a fishing tour, a fishing school, something to that effect, and try to share some knowledge, or foster that fishing love for fishing in the younger generation. The Niall Rampasad. Hey, KoS, light shore jigging in Trinidad, how feasible is it? It was made for pressured water, so I was wondering how it would perform here. Light shore jigging. Light shore jigging, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Casting jigs from shore, for sure. I've done that in Trinidad, quite successful. And you can do it anyway. I mean, maracas, off the rocks, macquarie, Mayaro side. I guess anyway, I have access to water, you can try it, Blanche says. So yeah, for sure, light shore jigging, you can do it. The thing right here to use, of course, the KoS jig. For light shore jigging, use this. You will catch fish if they are wrong. If you're fishing somewhere with the KoS jig and you ain't get no fish, that means there's no fish there. That's a joke, but yeah, for sure, you could do light shore jigging. Try it anyway you could. Use the KoS jigs, spoons. Definitely should work. KoS Arsenal, let me know when you're ready to do a trout mission in New York, in North Carolina, or NC, North Carolina. I ready to do a trout mission anytime, just to reach. So KoS, when I reach up there, I will check you and we're going to try to do that mission. And I have a couple from Instagram. Lorenzo Laban, say, yeah, when we going fishing? Well, actually, we can go fishing soon, bro. The next video I'm going to post on YouTube is actually the fishing trip giveaway. Those guys who won the giveaway through using the KoS jigs, or have any KoS jigs. So that's how we could go fishing. Those guys won the competition. We finally got to do the trip. Catch our best fish on the trip with the jig. So I'm posting that video next. Should be posted on Friday, all going well. So yeah, I'm going to have a next competition soon again with the KoS jigs. So if you buy them, make sure and take your pictures of them. Catch fish with them, take your pictures and send them. We'll be doing our next fishing trip giveaway soon. Nice one where you can definitely fish with me, or we can fish together. And the last one is not Jahim. If you had to catch one fish alone for the rest of your life, what fish would it be and why? I had to choose to catch one fish for the rest of my life. I think it could be my favorite fish to catch, which is snook, aka boshe, because of how you catch them, where you catch them. How? Artificials, a very aggressive fish. You catch them on soft plastics, catch them on hard baits, catch them in the beach, catch them in the rivers, catch them in shoreline. Anyway, the snook could be anyway. And they're so aggressive and they take artificials, which is my favorite type of fishing. And that's one fish that I could probably target continuously for the rest of my life. They do get big as well. Biggest I catch so far is probably 25 pounds, but they do get bigger. Now hopefully one day I could travel the world and go after one of those monsters, but snook is the one fish I'll catch for the rest of my life. Second might be snapper, maybe, but snook for sure on top of them. Snook Master also asks in this question is when we could get LD and Technical Master on podcast. Soon, hopefully next week I have my guest that was supposed to be here this week, and after we'll see who comes on after. Again, if you have anybody you want to see on the podcast, anybody from social media, suggest it, comment below, we'll see who can get on the podcast. I'm not sure how long this one was. If I was sitting here talking about myself, trying to get through the topics as fast as possible. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast, but I don't want to stretch it out too long. And remember, this week's episode is sponsored by none other than the KoS jig. Get your KoS jigs, guys. They work, they catch everything. The next video you're going to see who's the best snapper if I catches it. But yeah, KoS jigs for the win. Make sure when you're buying the jigs, it has the KoS packaging. And again, all the tackle shops that have it, I'll put them below. Thanks to all of them for supporting KoS fishing. Good people, thank you guys for watching this second podcast episode. Hopefully it wasn't too long. If you watched to the end, I appreciate you watching. And remember, if you have any questions for probably our next future podcast, comment below. And if you have any other suggestions for the podcast, comment below. I appreciate it. Keep fishing. Fish on.
So in all our karangas, guys, we get a beauty of a mutton. So you see, you never know when you're fishing. You just have to keep dropping your line. We're looking for a carrot, we get a better fish than a carrot. Beauty of a mutton. I gotta start back my collection here. Mine. Oh shit, Ali, nu det. Aj off.
Yeah, boy.
What king sabotage? My fish swim to your fish, bro? Hey, you see, you still have it. Killer, I lost count. My hand tired. This looks like the biggest one so far. Oh, that's the biggest one so far. Dog. Not on this trip. That is fish.